First of all, good evening, everyone, and I welcome you all to this our second project, and which I believe that I think, although the percentage is very low, and the percentage is somehow disappointing because we have more than 80 participants in that group, and the people that submitted their project, they are not even up to five, which is a total disappointment. Very total disappointment. No talking, no any like maybe. Although some people try to reach me out to complain about some or two things, but nevertheless we can still do more. We can still do more. So we are in the era that no one should be given excuses. If there's no solution, you should create your solution. So don't just be given excuses. So if you don't have access to laptops, so you have ICT centers, you have ICT, so you are in school. So instead of you have friends that have systems, borrow them just to practice. It's not something that you just take your time. But nevertheless, so we are in the era that no one should not just be making excuses all the time. So now, um, this is our second project, and which is portfolio, which I believe that most of you must have been hearing about portfolio. No matter how you are, like how vast you've gone your tech journey, if you don't have portfolio, it's more of like you are out of the league. That portfolio, it's more of like your own CV. So like what I used to say, that no one is here outside to be asking you about your certificate, that what's your educational background, what's this. The only thing that they will be asking you, it's what are the projects that you've done. So, and this platform is what we call portfolio, is in our own end as in tech, right? So this portfolio is where you manage everything that you have done, a brief, your bio about you, your services, the project that you've engaged yourself into, the collaboration that you've done, anything, all sort of things, that all your tech journey. So this is where everything will be uploaded to on. And then anyone that is asking about your CV, that's just only the thing that you just send to that person, the link, and which I believe that we've shown you guys on how to create a temporary link. But and I've also emphasized that that one is not professional. That is because it's still having .github.something.io. It's not professional. So your main URL is supposed to be www dot the name of your company or your personal name, like for example www.fastfasttech.com. So that one is more professional than just github dot something like that. So the one that we created, it is just like, it's not a professional link, right? It's just a free link that we created. So but that one too is also good. I will advise that kind of links, it should be created purposely for all the projects, that your side projects that you'll be doing subsequently. But the main project that concerns about you, like this of portfolio, it's advisable to have real URL name, which I'll also teach you on how to buy domain name, on how to host websites, on how to, believe me, this project that you want to embark on, you get a vast experience on this, and from there you see the things that you will be creating. So first of all, I hope you've all been seeing my screen now. So what you're supposed to do, you should create your portfolio, which I believe that you've created your portfolio folder, and any project that you are doing, it means that what you have to create a folder for it, right? I hope you are all seeing my screen. Hmm? Can you all see my screen? Please, someone should talk. Can you see my screen, please? So that I will, before I proceed. Is my screen displaying? Someone should answer, please.
Yes, sir.
So fine. So now the first thing you have to do now while creating, don't forget we are still doing our pure coding, no frameworks yet. After when we've done like 3 to 4 projects, so that's when we now move to any framework. But for now, please, let's just still be maintaining the pure code. I told you, once you have mastered the pure code, believe me, you can learn a framework within a week. So the first thing you have to create, which we've known the default name for index is for our web page is what index.html or index.html, right? This one is not new to you all. So then after that, you create your what CSS. Why the default name is style.css? Please, are you seeing my screen, right? Go. Then for JavaScript, you can name it as script.js. So now we've created this. We also need a folder for our images, but for now let's just create images for image folder. So now this, what we've done here is what they call setting up of environment and folder structure. So as a developer also, you must know how to set. Let me try to enlarge this thing so that my screen will be somehow big enough. I think it's big enough now, like this. So I've enlarged it. So this, what we've done here is what they call folder structure. So you must know how to arrange your folders very well. So now after when you've done that, come back to our HTML and use your shortcuts like this. This one will pop out. Exactly. Let me collapse this one. So now we have this. So now let's rename our title as portfolio like this, right? This spelling for portfolio. So let's link our CSS, and for our CSS what, let me use the shortcuts because of time. So I've used the shortcuts. Please, are we clear? Hope no question regarding this, please. Right? How we've done this one. I hope there's no question. So now after this, now so we want to start. Let me preview. If I want to preview, what will I do? Ctrl+Shift+P, right? If you see Ctrl+Shift+P, you see what show live server preview, so that I will have this. So that I'll have this side preview. This is what we've done so far. Please, any question? So now we've linked our CSS with our HTML. The next thing that we just have to do is to start styling. And we know that our styling is start from what? It start from the body section, right? So now the first thing that you have to do after this, the first thing that you have to do, you see our web pages. We have web structure, the web layout for everything. That is what it is segment, the section that website comprises. So we know that we have header, we have footer, we have section, we have article, we have navigation bar, everything, right? So and we know the top of our this thing here of our any website that you are seeing, where you see logo, where you will see this navigation bar, the one that you click, that you see the menu that will pop out, like home, something about us, contact us, everything. So they are called what? The navigation menu. But and it's located at the header side. So the first thing, for our code to be semantic, let us create our header class like this, header, right? So now you see now that most website that is semantic, you see that logo used to be here, and then your services used to be here, like home, like about us, contact us, all these sort of things. But at the left side there, you see the logo, right? And at the right side there, you see the navigation. So now to do that, so let's create a logo element. And to do that, let me use a link for that. Let me use a like this. I hope we know the tag for a. The tag for a is we call anchor tag, and it's used to link. For linking, which I've also explained in our previous video, that's what they use to. That's the concept behind what Berners-Lee used to create the World Wide Web, right? That is the concept behind it. It's just linking, like to linking. That how can I create a thing that wherever I've clicked on something, it will open another thing. That's now what leads us to what we call web pages. Is that clear, please? I hope we are getting it. So now this my logo, but let me put the hash sign here, and then let me name it as a class, so that if I want to call it, I will know this as logo. Let me put a class name and name it logo, so that I've extended this a class now to be a logo, so that whenever I want to style it, I will be calling it as a logo. Please hope you've understood it. right? So now after logo, still the same this our header, we have something that we call navigation, and the semantic element for navigation is nav. Are we clear? Please hope you are clear. And then for navigation, we used to have many things. We used to have many things. So now, but since we don't have logo yet for this, I think let's just name this as fast tech. Let's just use a test as a fast tech. Let me just use it a fast tech. Now, this my fast tech has pop out now, but you see that it is underlined and we've seen blue as right. This one I'll explain this later. But after this our nav, we want to create the navigation bar, and I told you the semantic element is nav, right? And if you want to create the menu, you can also use link. Because why it's good to use link like this, it is because all this once you've clicked on it, another page will open, right? Don't forget, I told you web computer is all about clicking. Just be thinking your website as a web pages, that is like a page, like your like your Microsoft web page, like your Microsoft document, sorry, that has multiple pages, right? So just be thinking, just be seeing your website as something that you click and that page will open, like your sheet, like your book, like you're opening your book. That's all about website. So for these two, it used to happen like that. For this one, it used to happen like that. So now let's just name this so that because this is where we insert the link that you want that thing. Like now, let me if I should name this now as home, for example, if I should name it as home now, you see what this one basically means is that whenever I've clicked on this now, this home now, the link that I'll put here is what this home page will lead me to. This home button. Please, is that clear? That's what this means. But let me just duplicate it. And to duplicate is it's Alt Shift then your down button like this to duplicate in shortcut. Please hope you are clear. Then what I'll just need here is just to edit. Let me use what are the things that you can see under portfolio 2. We use to see yeah, it's very important about me. About me. Then I put sorry, is about me is very important in portfolio. What again? That is portfolio. That is your bio. Let's use services. Let's say my service is also important. What can we also include? Who can tell me what you can also include? Someone should tell me now. What are the things that you used to see? Someone said to join. So what's also important now? Who is that? Someone said to talk. Talk. What's that?
Text. Maybe the test skill.
What the skills, right?
Yes.
Okay, but let us make it professional. Let's say yes. Let's say skills is okay. Let's say skills. That's your qualification, your proficiency. Like what are the tools that you, what again? I think we're okay. Let's use contacts. That is whereby someone can be able to click something that someone will be able to click. Contact me, and then it's either you want people to be contacting you through phone call. You will see how we will connect this with phone call, and we'll see how we can connect this link yet with email. That is, once someone has clicked on this, it will just direct you automatically to what? It will just direct that person to maybe calling. So now if I should go back and save this now, you'll see all this pop up. But let me cancel this overview and let me use the complete view. Now this is what happened here. Please, any question before I proceed, please? Please, any question before I proceed? Let us ask question, please. No question? So fine. So now before I proceed, so let us just finish. So let us, you know what, as we are just progressing, let us just be styling them, so that it will ease our work instead of us to, because we have different approach, different approach to solve all this. So some people used to like first write the HTML codes that they need, but to me it's not that professional, because it's better for you as you are each segment, each section that you are doing, just try to be writing, to be solving it with the styling. Just be doing the styling along. The only thing that you can come and do later should be the JavaScript side. The functionality of the website should be at the end. Is that clear? But let your HTML code to be going along with your CSS, because of the bulkiness that will come later on. Once you have like hundreds of codes, now it will be difficult for you to what, to navigate. So that's why we have comments, but we also come to that later on for comment. But for now, let's just stick to decoding. So this thing now that I've done now, let us style it. And for styling, I told you during our last project, anything, there's one thing that is very, very important if you're if you want to start your CSS code, which I've also explained in our previous project, that there's something that they call box sizing. That is, the web browsers that you are seeing, this Google Chrome, this Opera Mini, and they have their own default algorithm on how to manage websites. But now, like, which I've also explained the box sizing, that how the computer is seeing all your elements. That is, computer is seeing it like a four sizes. Like we have the top, right? So now, what we want now to do now, that we want to remove, we don't want to be sticky. We don't want the browsers to use its own default algorithm. So fine. Can you see my screen back now?
Yes, it's back.
So fine. So now I told you now that, so now I now want to be using, I don't want to be using the algorithm for the browsers. So now who can remind us what I told you during our last project? If you don't want to be using the default algorithm for browsers, like the one that they have for their margin, padding, and the border. So if you don't want to use it, and you want to use your own personalized design, so what are the things that so what is the, which selector are we to use to achieve that? Who can
I
remind us,
think it's
please?
flex.
Now you said
I think it's flex.
no, 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 no. You've not gotten my question. During our previous class, I told you that all browsers, like Chrome, your Microsoft Edge, your Mozilla Firefox, they have their own default algorithm that they have for on how to view website, right? So now, if you want to doubt it, so now see, go and open the same website in different browsers. You will see how you see different style that will come out for that particular website that you've opened in different browsers. But now that's why I told you now that each browser, they have their own default designs, right? So now, but then and I showed you one technique that if you don't want to be using, which is professional, that is, you should use your own personalized one, because one of the things that you should be thinking of is end users. That's the see anything that you are creating as as a computer scientist, your optimum aim is for the users to enjoy your service. So that's why you have all this UI UX. So once your service is not friendly, usable, believe me, people won't patronize your product again. That's why if you are designing, you should be thinking of as you should be assuming that you are creating for all devices. That is, which means your coding, your everything should be working perfectly. That is irrespective of any browser that that person will use, your product should appear fine. Believe me, different browsers they have their algorithms. So that's why you have to just follow the norms, the normal norms. So for us not to waste our time, I told that there's one selector that used to manage that, which we call the universal selector. And the universal selector is star like this, star like this, your star like this. Have you forgotten? This star like this. This star means that you want this thing that you want to write, this property and values that you want to write, it should affect all the tags that you'll be using. That it should affect this thing that I want to put, this property and values, it should affect all the tags that I will be using, either p tag, h tag, image, anything. That is, don't use the browser default algorithm. Don't use it for this my project. That's what it means. Please hope you are clear now. Hope you are clear now, right? So now as I say, I don't want to be using default algorithm doing this thing. So the margin, I don't want to use their own margin, which I've also explained the margin. The margin is the outer space, right? Now in some browsers, if you are to view it like this, if you are to view, see how this one is starting here, right? See this outer space, you see a little, right? But while some browsers, you'll be seeing it that their own will be here. You see enough spaces here. But for this Chrome that I'm using, you see this small space here. It means that that's the default algorithm. Now, if I should not say zero now, if I say zero that I don't want to use it, you see that if I should save it and go back, you see it is because of I think now this one it is screen. But normally, if I should, let's say let me put 50. Let's say 50 pixel, so that you see what I'm saying now. If I should increase this, the universe, you see what happened here, Ko? You've seen what happened here? You see that it has enlarged this, right? So, but me, I want to use zero.
Yes.
So now I don't want to use any margin for the browsers. Put me for me zero. The padding, why the padding is the inner space, right? I also want to be to zero. Zero means that you don't want anything should happen to it. That is, don't use the default space that that came with the browser. Now, so after that, the next thing, then you have to make the box size into. This thing I've explained it in our last. I said this thing you have to be using it in all your browser, all your this thing that you are doing, any project. This thing is very, very paramount. It's very, very important. Then your box sizing to be what? Border box. Right? Then now I will be using this thing a lot. This our link. If I should go back to my HTML, you will see that normally the general default algorithm for links is that automatically it will come with blue color like this, and it will also be underlined. Now, but now I know to be because of this universal techniques that I'm using. Don't forget this universal. It means that everything that I will be using later. So now, if I should use this line that you are seeing is called the text decoration. If I change it to none, if I come back to this, you see now that all my other line has gone now. It means that anytime I'm using a tag, it will be coming without underlining. Please, do you understand the universal selector now very well now? Please, any question, please? Hello? Do you have any question?
No question for now.
So fine. So now I also want one of the things that I used to emphasize also. It is how to use what it's how to use text and colors, right? So now I want my default, I want a font because it's one of the things that will make your this thing to be very beautiful. I think one of the things that I used to like more, I used to like this sans serif, but for this one, except I would have used this thing for you guys. So this what they call Google font, but I think it. Let us leave it till our next class because of time. But let us just use one among these. Let us use this Times New Romance. But there's one thing that you also need one of the famous fonts, that is Google font. You must that where we have millions of fonts, then you must know how to use them. It's very very important on how to use them, right? So which I'll show you. Now that I've used this my universal to change to this Times New Romance, so you see that automatically my text will go along with Times New Romance. Now can you now see now that this margin has gone? You see now that my text has come to the last edge. It means that now I'm ready to use my own default styling. That is, anything that I'm doing now, the browser won't be considering it to its own this now. If I should inspect it, if I should inspect this, you will see this now. Everything is going perfectly now. Oh, it's mashallah, yes, everything padding, mama, is going perfectly. You see, if I should come back to my head, you see that margin 000 none Times New Roman. Don't worry, this one you must know it too later on. You can see that this one too has come to my edge, right? So don't worry, these dev tools you will know how to use them later. Please, any question? We don't have question. So because of time. So what we shall have to do now is that let's just go back to our styling, and then now we have our header, right? We have header here and we have our logo. So let's just try to style it a little bit, and let us make it to make sense a little bit, right? So what we should do now is just now go back to our style, and if I want to target the header, what will I do? Since I have not specified any class here for header here, right? Since I've not specified any class for it, what I'll just do is that you can just come down to this and just say header straight. But once you've used class for it, like class name, it has to be like dot, the name of the class that you've named it, right? So now I'll just come down here now. I'll now say what? I'll now say header. This is the name. Now I'm targeting the heading this thing now. So what I want to do to the heading is, you see, if you should see this my code here, you'll see that it's at the top, total at the top, but I still want. Now first of all, you see now that normally this our nav here that we're seeing is supposed to be here. Who can tell me what can we use to achieve that, please? Who can tell me what can we use to achieve that based on our last season that we've done, please? Can someone talk? Because I want our class to be interactive, so that I won't just be the only one talking. What can we use to achieve that? No one. Hello, are we there? So if I want to, you see normally that if you come to browser now, this our menu, you will see that your logo used to be here, right? And your menus used to be this side. So if I want to achieve that based on our last project now, I've explained something like this. What can we use to achieve that? No one? Hello? Can you all hear me? So for the upside of that, because of time, so let's just go back to my this thing and say, let me first say I want this one not to be juggling about later on, because this is supposed to be fixed. The logo is supposed to be fixed in one position. So what I just do is that you can just put position like this. position and use what, and use fixed. It means that it won't be moving to any place, right? You can say top, that is 0. Top is still the same thing as our, that is, I want you to still remove the inner top again for this particular element, right? For this header. So I don't want you to use any space. Now and again, for the left side, I want you to use 0 too. I don't want you to see now. If I should go back to this, you see now code that there's nothing now, because I want to use flex to achieve this this thing now. If I should go back to this again and now choose what, now let's now use the padding, or let's first use width. And we've all know what width means now. Let me use other percent of width. That is, this one should take the other percent width of the available spaces here. You see that nothing is happening yet because of the justification that I want to do the flex, so that it will divide it for me everything in. And now after that, I want to achieve space between these navigation bars. These space are not enough for me, but I want that there should be enough space for me. Then you can now use padding. Don't forget that padding is the inner space, right? Then let me use for the top, the up, let me use 10 pixel. Why for the bottom, let me use 20 pixel. So see, if you are using this thing like this, it means this for this values, they're supposed to be 4. Like what I've told you in our previous class, the padding value is top, right, bottom, left. But if you are using 2 like this, it means that you are specifying for top and what, bottom. This one is for right and left. So what this one simply means is that I want to space for top and bottom for this, and this one should be for right and left. So if I should save it and come down to my this thing, you see now that space has occurred here, right? And for the top 2, there's space here too. Can we achieve that? Can we see that now? Then I cannot go back. Now I cannot go back to my now since when I've done this, what I have to do now, you cannot use our one that we use, our flex now that we use. Then after first, what should I do? Justify content, right? Hope you can see, remember this flex something. Then what do I use? Space what between. Hope you can still remember all this. Then align items is what? I'll now use what? Center. If I should save it, you will see that automatically the browser would have divided for me. Can we see that now? You've seen how they create navigation bars. Please, any question, please? Any question, please?
Please, what is which of the attributes now separated the half-fast?
Okay, did you do the last project?
No, I was not.
Oh, that's why. So we use flex to achieve that. I've explained this concept during our last project. So what just simply means that flex is just like a layout techniques. I told that we have different approaches for that. You can use flex, you can use grid, you can use many things, flexbox to achieve this. But because I want to separate this, but don't forget, if you go back to our index, we have just only 2 elements inside header. That's why this thing what's the name? Because this one now they are the same. This nav, all this home, about me, my service, they are inside one element, and this is the second element for the logo part, right? So now what this was basically now means that I've told the computer that I want you to separate this with this width of 100%. I want you to separate these 2 elements for me into equal parts. So now if you have 3 now, you will see what the computer will do for us. Let's just add one more thing here too. After this, let me add let me just add let me add a button. Let me just add a button. Let me just add a button tag so that let me say let's say hire me. Let me say hire me. If I should save it now, you see what computer will do for us now. You see now? You see hire me here? See that computer has divided this two now into three equal parts. If you have four elements, it will divide it into four. Five, that's how computer will be divided for you automatically. Do you understand the concept now? Now?
Yes, I understand it now. I
Okay, now.
understand it.
So since now we just need only just two sides, that's why we now did this. So now we don't need this one again, but we still later on we still need. Let me just remove it back. Then let's save it. Please let us stop here so that you guys you be able to do your parties before this thing. Please, any question, please. Now I know that if you are thinking on how to create this thing, see how simple it is on how to create to create navigation bar. It's very easy, very easy. So this is how we've created it. Very simple. So during our next meeting, we will style this header. We will do a lot of things to it. After then, we will now move to our what we call hero page. Please, with that, please ask question. Oh, please. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. This thing is logging me out, man. So please, sorry. Any question, please? Sorry. Any question?
No, no question for now.
So for the outside of that, I think can we call it a day? So I believe that you should all have done this before Friday, or sorry, before Thursday. You should have created your what's the name? You should have created your navigation bar for this, and I think we are progressing small, and then you should be able to push it to your GitHub for now. Don't create a link for it, or just just push it to your GitHub, and don't use GUI method. Please use command line method, please. Hope that's all clear. Push it to your GitHub by using your command line. Don't use GUI. So with that said, so we'll see you on Thursday, and bye bye. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.
Thank you.